Oh man, it's out here in Saigon, Ho Chi Minh, and finally got tired of the big city stuff. So like 7 a.m., 6 a.m. or something like that, I hopped on my scooter and just started getting out of town. And man, I just found this nice little park by the river right here. And it's funny, man, like a lot of times I have no idea what I'm doing. And like, I think one thing that I don't give myself enough grace for or credit for, or whatever you want to call it, maybe, is like, I don't know, when I tell other people what I've been through, like my story in my past, they're always like, "Oh shit, you've been like this is crazy." And for me, it is normal. I know that what the things I went through, especially like between like 11 and 16, 17, were not normal. And then obviously stuff after 17 with the drugs and the prison and the violence and the robbing and the beating up and the stabbing and the shootings and the guns and the dope and all that was definitely not normal. I mean, well, it's definitely part of culture now, but subculture. So I wouldn't call it normal. I don't think that's the right word for it. Anyway, so I was saying I don't really know what I'm doing, right? But I've realized I've been in LA for like 8 or 9 years now, and I had a very specific goal that I got distracted from myself for a lot. But I wanted to just make a home and a house and like find the right person to where I was just like, it's time to buy a house. I definitely thought I had that one. And I definitely put all my attention, energy that I realized yesterday. I had another realization this morning, but yesterday I realized like, I guess I haven't really talked about it because I wasn't able to let go. And maybe I haven't totally yet, but I'm definitely further along that path now. And I apologize for looking rough. Like I said, I just woke up and left. But two realizations, I'll get to the first one first, was that relationship. And I think it's tough for a lot of men to admit this, but because it sounds so lame and weak, honestly, when I hear it for myself, even, but like, especially because of all other shit that we've been through, I've been through, like, to like have just a relationship with a human female girl that's actually 10 years younger than me be so detrimental to my spirit, my mind, my body, my finances, especially the finances in the business. But I realized like that was what I wanted. So I put everything into it. It's just the other person didn't want that. The other person had very specific means to an end and goals that they weren't sure about either because everyone's on their own journey or whatever. But I'm not taking away from the fact that that person does deserve the righteous spot in my story and my journey. And that spot is not a good one, to say it nicely. Their whole family, the father, the sister, the mother even like still follow and reach out and this like this and that. And I know that it's not from a place of love. It's from a place of this is a backup for a guy that had a little bit of money enough to get by or to give some kind of lifestyle. But that was the goal, which is fine. You know what I mean? Like when it's not the only thing that people want or want to contribute or want to be a part of. But anyway, bringing it back to me, like, yeah, man, I put like every bit of my heart and soul into that. And like, especially with the money stuff and like, the wanting to like be poly and a few other men and to try to like keep kind of coming back into my life, like, and my fault too, you know, let it drag on for 2 years after that. I can really look back and clearly see how absolutely detrimental that was. Like, first of all, to my heart, my soul, my spirit, and my confidence. Like, just, I'm still battling, like, getting back to a place where it's not like a fake confidence. It's like, to me again, it's real again. And that's tough. Um, but even in my business and my finances, like, just 20, 10, 20, 30 thousands like of dollars on different situations and cases. You know, times when I was making a lot more money when the business decisions I should have made should have been towards the business instead of paying her double the money to do half the work at sometimes, or not paying influencers and working with different agencies because I wanted to stack that money so we could buy a house and so we could live. And then, yeah, that was the thing. I mean, I felt deep in relationships before, but never at that point in my life where I was able to really stand on my own feet and handle it. And I guess I didn't handle it. I mean, I remember she came back to me one time and told me that I should have told her no to certain things. And I laughed because I was like, you know, I did many times. And at the end, I always end up, I guess like me and Sean talked about, like almost simping, just saying, hey, you know, what do you need? Like, what is going to be better for you? What is going to make you happy? And a perfect example of that is all the times I went to get my teeth fixed that I needed to get done in Mexico, and instead took associates of mine, took other friends, and got their shit done and didn't get mine done at all. I neglected myself, my business. I was doing so much like inner work, I thought that, and I was with coaches, I was trying. But I think that one thing that they didn't see, I mean, and they want to be paid, they're coaches, that's what they have to get paid for, I guess. It was a misguided healing. It was like I wanted to do all that just to be with her, just to make sure that I could handle and stand up and be a leader and be a loving, positive, providing husband, father, and friend in this relationship. And when things did finally totally fail, like, yeah, I've been pretty crushed since then. And the relationships I got into afterwards, with like a stripper with kids, with this poly chick from North LA, with another chick that I met randomly at the beach. I deserved the pain I got from them because I was literally using those people just to try to forget about the last one, I think. Until like, the most recent one. Anyway, so the realization I had yesterday was her, Trina, my ex, my most longest relationship. Still 3 relationships to go from where I'm sitting right now. But the deepest out of it, I think, with a person in my life, except maybe my very first girl, which I didn't have the money or ability to support at all. I was 17. And then the most recent, which I was blinded by the sense of virtue signaling and spirituality that I so want to see, that I'll manifest it, even if it's not real, and bring into my life because I'm so caught up in wanting it and having it. However, that realization, when it hit yesterday, I'm proud in front of the people. I go do my own thing, but I literally just think I was walking down the road somewhere in Vietnam. I just, tears started pouring out because I finally was like, damn, like, that's what I've been like holding on to. Everyone says admit it and talk about it, but all my coaches at the times didn't want to. They wanted to talk about my childhood stuff, which maybe is where all it comes from, right? But the slap in the face that I got yesterday, really realizing that, it kind of bring me to my knees. It did get me to actually go home and pray also, which I did. Anyway, so I really hope that was just a little taste and a reminder. And I've already moved through the difficult parts, and now it's just I'm realizing I'm coming to a better place with it, because the last message this girl sent me was to the effect of, and I showed my friend and he was like, what the fuck? It was, I miss you and I love you. And I remember you were amazing, but I wish you were more manly in that you would give me an allowance, a bigger allowance, which I gave her cards, allowance, food, rent, whatever else you wanted, classes paid for her to do work for me that I could have paid someone half the price to do. Every single trip out of the country, in the country, every single hotel, Airbnb, everywhere, everything we did together. She didn't really care about that. And men, you know what I'm talking about. Like, these women aren't paid for that shit, especially if you have the wrong one. They're entitled to it and they think they deserve it. And maybe at a certain point, like, they do. But that's not the attitude and the heart and the spirit that you're going to want to marry, and that's going to take them or you anywhere. Anyway, so enough of that for right now. I could do a whole fucking series on that. And now it actually feels good to be able to talk about it, not just being straight tears, because it's like I didn't even know what was hurting so bad. And I said it so many times, I don't know what's hurting, I don't know what it is. But if I trace things back properly, like even after my ex-wife, it was this one. It was having the ability to, having the money, the business, the finances, the time to dive as deep as I wanted on my own without any help. And doing that times 10 and trying again and again, and still ending up with a broken heart, broken bank account, broken computer, broken TV, broken house, stolen shit, and more. But most deeply, like I said, broken like confidence and heart. Anyway, feels weird sharing this, but yeah, it doesn't hurt to share anymore. It's like I know it's the truth. And I've taken a while to get here. This is why I come back to this point of like why I'm traveling. Like I don't get these downloads, as the spiritual fuckers say. When I'm just sitting around a big city like LA, doing business and living that life, traveling with nature, seeing new things, being activated from different sides and different ways and different perceptions and different vibes and feelings and languages and foods and cultures, which brings me to my second. I still don't like bugs. My second realization, which was this morning. So I woke up around 3:30, 4, and what I realized was about my dreams, which I've been begging coaches and therapists to please help me with, because like if I wake up from some of my dreams that are that intense, it's like hard to get my day started. Like I literally think I'm dying in my dream and people are trying to kill me in my dream and I'm being taken away again or kidnapped again or something's happening like so intense. Then I wake up with like a guttural, crazy yell and scream. And this morning was the same thing and it hadn't happened in a long time. But I realized that I had this feeling when I wake up like that someone's there in the room with me and I'm in a condo, a nice one, an Airbnb here in Saigon. So obviously nobody's there. But that's the fear that I wake up like, and this is why you have to take time to do shit like this and travel if it means it. Then if you want to work on this side of your shadows and your past, your issues, your trauma, was that since 11 or 12, there always has been somebody in the room when I'm sleeping nearby that did not have good intentions for me and that would sexually fuck with me or beat the shit out of me had they had the chance or had I said the wrong thing. And it happened, both the sexual and the physical part. So like, I have a feeling those dreams are going to stop even more now because I'm 39. I mean, I know there's no one in that room. If someone did break in, they would have picked the wrong one. You know what I mean? Because I'm ready for it anyway. Seriously, I know where the knives are. I know where the lamp is. I know how to crush the glass in my hand and fucking put it in their eyes, like whatever. I didn't get trained for that. It's just how I think. Anyway, so yeah, that's why I think the travels help. And I didn't think I would figure anything else out about my dreams. Just thought it was something I would just deal with forever. And it's like, get emotional sometimes about it because it's like, it sucks. It's tough, like waking up like that. And like, you would laugh and be like, it's just a dream, bro. Nothing really happened. But like, when your mind thinks it's real, it makes it real. Like, it's real to your body and it's real to your emotions and it's real to your nervous system and the way you breathe. And like, I know how to control those things and reset and regulate myself, but it doesn't stop it from happening. And that's like one thing my coaches try to teach me is like, there's going to be ups and downs. You have to learn to regulate through them. That's a normal life. And I'm trying, but still trying. I haven't quit. It's just like, I don't know if like some of them just haven't been through the same shit where they don't get it. Like I go back to the same place where it just like, it must be normal then. Like everyone, if none of these coaches and therapists that have supposedly been through trauma understand what trauma is, can understand what I'm saying on that level, then I don't know. Maybe like everyone's been sexually, physically tortured, abused, and almost killed and shot and stabbed and tooth broke off and jaw ripped off and head cut open and stabbed. And you know, the physical stuff isn't even the crazy part. It's like the mental shit from all the schools, the 9 different schools, facilities, then the jails and the prisons and the rehabs. Then like, even as an adult going through the same shit as a 35-year-old adult, same shit, same physicality, same semi-torture, like of me trying to get help and then getting locked up again and again. Which, I mean, I put myself in these situations in these crazy places the last years. So yeah, there's that. I've been quite lonely some of this trip and sad some of the trip, but also met some really cool people. Some really cool young chicks that really gave me a new perspective on what the young generation could be. If they were kind of like them, I guess. Which, in general, is just so sad. The younger people, it's funny, like, they like to say things like make fun of, like, older people, right? I don't think of myself as old, but someone who's 20 would, right? Like, oh, you must be old. You don't even know how to turn the live photos off on your iPhone. I'm like, really? You're 20 with all the access to technology and products and information in the world, and all you can do is make some fucking memes and a TikTok dance. There's like 20 of you making money, 0 point something percent. And the rest of you are all just fucking idiots, lazy and entitled. And so they probably said the same thing about us as a kid, because I was not lazy, but I was definitely entitled, definitely cocky, definitely had a chip on my shoulder, definitely angry at the world. But also I had a backup, which is my father and that money. And I didn't think of it like that at the time. I guess I just got lucky with my course of events after prison and after everything I put them through and them helping me and stuff like that. So there's that. I'm done like dating for right now. And it feels weird. That's why I keep distracting myself. I realized that it's another realization I had. I don't even want to talk to a woman right now. I have no intent or desire even to be attracted to them unless I have some drinks. And then I'm like, okay, now like let me go get my sexuality out and like have some fun or talk to a girl. And I think the reason is I'm actually tired of it right now. I don't want it right now. Alcohol is the only way I can get past that boundary and border, because it feels kind of gay to like say I don't want to date. I talk to girls. I mean, straight up. Well, I mean, you don't talk to girls, like, might be gay. But it's not true, I know. But barely others. I gave y'all 3. And I thought I was going to talk for a second, hop back on my scooter. You know, a lot of times, like, and like when I start sharing more of these videos, like you'll see they're from a couple of years ago. Like, these are for me because they do help me to look back on it later. And it actually helps me just getting it out right now. Because, like, one of the reasons I wanted a wife and a family and a community, which I realize now, like, no wife and no girl gives a fuck about my past, my story. Especially, like, even my yoga teacher, my recent, like, most horrible, like, relationship that went 2 months long, I realized, like, they don't give a shit about your story. They don't give a shit about your pain and your trauma. They expect you and want you to deal with all of that and have it all settled out and figured out before you even fucking come to their front door. Don't talk about it. You just have to be it. Just be past everything and be healed all the way. And I'm not there. So I'm like, maybe that's the reason I'm not dating. But I think the bigger reason is, in my opinion, is these girls these days are fucked. Modern Western women, what they want, what their ideal is of the world, what they're doing with their life. And, you know, anyone can judge anyone. Anyone can say anything. I feel like I'm speaking from experience with hundreds of girls I've dated and met and talked to and slept with the last 3 years, 5 years maybe. Say 5 for hundreds, right? I've met some in yoga studios like my ex. I've met some at the bars. I've met some on travels. The general sense is almost always the same thing. And I try to see what are their complaints about me? How do I fix myself and get better? It's always a different thing. There's not really a baseline of, oh, this is what you can get better at life. I'm adaptable. I'm almost a chameleon in that sense because I've been to so many schools and sent around so many times where I was forced to adapt or die or get my ass beat again and again, right? So I adapted. And I think that that's a huge mistake if you do that with a woman because you're not showing up as a leader and stable on your own feet. And it sucks so bad because I thought that would be like a point of a doormat, like from a woman, like, hey, like this guy has his own shit, has his own money, own paper, own mind, own life, been through all kind of shit. I know his story, I know his past. Yeah, he's still 100% willing to like come be a Krishna devotee with me or go to these festivals that I know he doesn't want to go to, learn something new, a new project, start a new business with me. Like, they don't want any of that shit, man. They want to hear what they want to hear. They want you to cover their eyes with the bullshit, the games, the magic. And lie. And that's why I've seen, which might be a fucked up perspective, I hope it is, but I've seen it, that 95% of relationships I see work. The dude makes paper, does his own thing, and knows how to fucking lie and separate his personal and married life. Saw it again right here in my face in Saigon with a dude I met from New Zealand, actually. Good dude. Fucked about 3 or 4 girls in front of me, has a whole wife, family, and kids at home, and that is very, very normal and common. And their relationships are they stay together. I mean, they're doing well. The girl has complaints sometimes. The guy has complaints sometimes. They're not hitting each other, not getting locked up. They're not cheating around. I mean, we don't know that yet, but they're not. So, I mean, well, the girl isn't at least. And yeah, the girls that might see this aren't going to like it. But yeah, I do believe that a man should be able to biologically move around and screw what he wants. It's natural. And we're not putting our emotions into it. It's sexual. With the women, the way they pick and what you're going for and why you're doing it is totally different. I mean, for me personally, every time I've been in a relationship, I have no reason to cheat. I'm going to get in a long-term relationship with someone if I'm happy with the sex. I don't care what their flaws are. I know them already, and I'm willing to work around them and work with them and grow. So anyway, this has gone a lot longer than I wanted it to go. I'm going to sign off. I'll check back in with y'all later, and we'll do another video, and I'm going to have like a playlist, I think, called Realizations, because it just be coming sometimes when we out here. But anyway, check out this view. Beautiful. This is the kind of stuff that actually chills me the fuck out because I definitely have been like feeling crazy this morning after that dream. Yeah. Well,